So I just want to say a massive welcome to all you guys. It is so much fun to have you guys sometimes message me and tell me how much you value some of my lives and so on, and it just means the world to me. Even if it's just one of you that gets some value out of this, I'm super happy. But today we are at the end. We are at the end of this 12 series of biggest mistakes that I've made in my business, and it's been a lot of fun to share these things. I've had to really kind of share some maybe more personal things, and it's not always easy to talk about your failures and your big mistakes and so on, because I'm kind of an optimistic person. I love to focus on the future and what's happening right now and how can we make things better. But to go back and think about all the bad things I've done is just like but it's kind of fun as well, and it's kind of course, this is for your value. So first of all, welcome, and please write below where you're calling in from. I always love to see where you guys are seeing this from all around the world. Just put your town and so on. And today's last thing we're going to talk about mistakes here is I want to discuss one of the things that I still do today, and I'm working on getting better and better at it. But that is the mistake of always comparing yourself to other people. Anybody ever done that? Have you ever compared yourself to somebody else and you just didn't feel good about it, right? Ever done that? Okay, write a little haha below or whatever if you've ever done that. If you've ever compared yourself to somebody before and you just didn't feel good about it, right? So it's like, why do we do it? Okay, so for me, when I compare myself to somebody else, the only really feeling that I usually get is some kind of jealousy, right? And jealousy to me is not such a positive thing. It's like, you're being kind of bitter, you're kind of having you're discontent, you're envious of somebody else usually, right? And you kind of want what they have. And that's not very positive, is it? Okay? So, I know that maybe comparing yourself to other people, for those that are super duper competitive, okay? I'm very, very competitive, okay? My wife and I are like one time when she beat me in Scrabble, I picked up the board and just threw it across the room, okay? But there was a story behind that. She was like 50 points behind me, and she got some no, she was more than that. It was like 70 points or something, and she got some 90-point award. It was just crazy. I was just about to do my little celebration dance because she had the last tiles left. Okay, anyway, we're very competitive people, and what happens is when you're very, very, very competitive, sometimes comparing yourself to somebody else can drive you, okay? So that can be good. But for the majority of us, 99% of us, comparing yourself to other people will usually just kind of get you to feel negative about something, okay? Now, the reason why you can't compare yourself to other people is because you're comparing apples and oranges. You're comparing different things here. And the reason for that is if you are comparing yourself to the latest superstar in your business, who has come from another network marketing business, and they know they've been in the business for 5 years, they have a team already of people that trust them, that are coming with them. How can you, if you've never had any network marketing experience, compare yourself to somebody that's been doing it for 5 years somewhere else? You can't. You've got to say, okay, well, they've been doing it for 5 years. I'm still on year 2. I still have to go another 3, 4, 5 years before I've even caught up to where they're at, right? Okay? So we tend to do that all the time. We tend to see these superstars come into the business and we go, why are they moving so fast? How are they having success? What are they doing? And so on, okay? Another one is, and this is where what I sometimes get, I go, how can, I've got some superstar girl in my team who's just moving really, really fast, and maybe they don't have network marketing experience, but they have a great social media presence. And they're being super consistent on their social media, and they have, let's say, 100 times more followers than I do. How can I then compare myself to what they're doing when they have 100 times more followers? They've been spending years building that following, or they're just much better suited to get a better following than I am, maybe. Okay, that's maybe an excuse here. But anyway, it's like, why would I compare myself to that? If it's just going to be kind of a negative thing, saying, hey, I should just be super happy for them and say, hey, that's awesome that they're having results. They've worked so hard to build up their following. They've worked so hard on their social media. Just be happy for them, right? Okay? So I always remember going to events, especially in the US, and I would just sit there and just watch these people walk across the stage. And because my journey was very, very slow, I didn't get to go up on stage that much. And I would watch these people get up on stage, and I'd be like, that person? I've met that person. How is that person up on stage and I'm not? What's wrong with me? What's going on? Like, that person, no way! How are they getting to that level way before me, right? And instead, I should just be like super grateful for them. I should be super happy for them because they've now inspired me to say, hey, I need to work a little bit harder. I need to keep on going. If I just keep going, I'm going to be there one day, right? And that's one of the things I've realized now, because I had this super slow journey, and it's not so much about getting to this end destination and like getting to the top and making lots and lots of money. Like, yeah, sure, there's perks to that as well, right? But it's enjoying that journey. And I can now go back and be super grateful that I had a super slow journey, because I can relate to the ones that are going slow. I can get somebody that's maybe been in the business for 2 or 3 years that are struggling and say, look, I struggled just like you after 2 or 3 years. I'm not, and it might take you another 6 years to get to success. It might take you another 10 years, 15 years. It doesn't matter. It's still worth it. And enjoying that journey is what it's all about, right? That's what you've got to kind of learn to do, and stop comparing yourself to other people. Now, I want you to compare yourself to one person, though, and that is to you. I want you to compare yourself to yourself yesterday. Are you a little bit better today? Are you working on your mindset? Are you working on your skill set? Are you learning more about social media or how to get out there? Are you learning about marketing, about sales, about leadership, about communication, about how to interact with other people? Are you learning about emotional, what's it called, EQ? I can't even say it. I'm a guy. I barely have any EQ whatsoever, right, to start with. So I'm pretty much hopeless there. Okay, that's an excuse. I need to work on this, right? So how can you compare yourself to yesterday and say, hey, did I do a little bit more than yesterday? Can you go to bed at night and say, hey, I'm really proud of what I did today, and tomorrow I'm going to do just the same or even a little bit more? Okay, that's your comparison. Compare yourself a year ago. Are you better today than you were a year ago? Are you happier? Are you in better health? All of these things. Compare yourself to yourself. Okay? It's as simple as that. Now, if you're already doing this, can you please write in the comments one tip that you have for comparing yourself to yourself that's working really well for you, okay? And also for any of you that have maybe gone through this whole journey of comparing yourself to other people and not feeling good about it, but then now are doing a lot better, what are your suggestions? Because I'm always looking for that, because I always keep comparing myself to other people. And I've always done that as us being super competitive in sports. I've always compared myself to other people in sports and so on as well. So I'm always working on that. And I think it's a huge mistake, because it just gives you negative feelings instead of positive feelings. If you can live a life where you're just super grateful for other people, for their success and so on, and also grateful for yourself that you're having this journey and having a lot of fun in this journey, and that is challenging you, that's when things start to really grow for you, I believe. Okay? So here's a challenge for you. Write down top 5 characteristics that you have. Okay? Now, and afterwards, write down a list of 5 things that you need to improve on to get better results yourself. And then create affirmations or affirmations about these 5 things to help improve your results. Okay? If you do that and you keep working on those over the next sort of, 8 weeks, 12 weeks, the next 6 months, 12 months, I think you're going to look at yourself in a year and say, hey, I'm a better person today than I was a year ago. And you will probably be a lot more grateful, having a gratitude journal, for example, of other people's success when you're, thankful for everything yourself. So thank you guys so much for watching this series. I am so thankful for you guys. If this is giving you any value and you have any kind of comments or messages that you want to send, please message me. It's always so great to hear from you. And if you have any ideas of other things that you want me to cover and going forward in the future, of things you want to learn or whatever else, I'm super happy to jump into anything, because we're now done with the 12 biggest mistakes. I'm an idiot, and I will continue to make mistakes, and that's what's so much fun, is we will continue to learn every single day from our business, and hopefully you guys will take something from this, and you will move your business just a bit faster than I have, because it's taken a long time for me, but I've loved the journey, okay? All right, everybody, have an awesome day. Cheers.